Interesting day at work today. Talked about religion not once but twice. And it wasn't like I came into today trying to talk about Jesus Christ or anything like that. But yeah, so I'm not going to name any names or talk to specifically because I'm not dumb. There's always a possibility, no matter how small, that my coworkers can find this video and understand exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to talk very vaguely and just kind of talk about the subject. Okay, so basically this morning, my coworker was just making small talk with me. I love talking to my coworkers. I love being part of a team. And so we had this conversation, very run of the mill. It's like, hey, Easter's coming up. What are you doing for Easter? And okay, so I kind of veered this towards religion. I was like, oh, I don't really, I'm not like an official Christian or anything like that. I'm not baptized. So I don't do any Christian holiday or traditions, but I do yada 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 with my child, like hide Easter eggs or whatever, the secular stuff. And my coworker said she was Christian, and then we started talking about Christianity. And to make this vague and to respect everyone's privacy, it was interesting that we disagreed on certain things, and it was kind of an exercise on how do you approach this topic respectfully. Of course, I always strive to be respectful, so I don't I try not to get worked up or bark at anyone or do anything that's not prudent. That I try not to do anything that's unwise. So I think I did okay with that, right? I let my position be known that I think Jesus Christ is God and we should obey Jesus Christ, stuff like that. And so I said it in the most tactful, diplomatic way I can. And then she told me her point of view, which it was interesting just to take it in and kind of see where she's coming from. But this is just the topic of bringing up religion or politics at work is very touchy, because everyone, or not everyone, but most people think that you should not talk about religion and politics at work. And I can understand why. I don't think it's a strict rule. I think it's a guideline, right? Because things can go wrong when you're talking about something that people tend to be feel so strongly about. So there's always that possibility, even if it's 1%, that someone will get set off and start coming at you because you said something about a certain politician or a certain president or about a certain culture war thing, right? So this is me and my coworker. We're just talking, and I think it was a good conversation. And so my philosophy is Christianity should be the most important thing in your life. If you're a Christian, if you follow Christ, then you are commanded to kind of bear that responsibility. Now, that doesn't mean just go around barking at people about Christianity. I'm not gonna go walk into Starbucks and say, yo, have you heard about Jesus? Let me tell you about Jesus Christ. Or I'm not gonna be on a street corner saying, hey, everybody, if you hear this, you should read the Bible. Now, I know some street preachers do that, and at first I thought it was kind of weird. It's like, you're kind of off-putting. Like, aren't you just kind of scare people away? And it had this kind of counterproductive effect. But I've come around to thinking that everyone has their own level of discernment. Everyone has their own way of operating, and sometimes some people love to scream on the street corner, and some people might be receptive to that. I'm not saying that justifies any way of communication. Like if you like to cuss and scream at people's faces, I don't think that's biblical. You shouldn't do that, even if some people might respond to that, because maybe that's just crossing the line that Jesus Christ wouldn't want us to cross. But if you keep it within the guardrails, I think everyone communicates differently, and so why not do it, right? So anyway, as someone who follows Christ, I'm always trying to find tactful ways to kind of bring Jesus Christ into the conversation, try to plant these seeds, because Jesus Christ wants us to do that. It doesn't, even if I'm not baptized, even if I'm not a priest or a theologian or an expert in Christianity or religion, the Bible actually tells you that even if you're new to this, you can still share your story and share your opinion on stuff. And you should preach the gospel, spread the news, tell people about what happened when Jesus Christ died and came back to life, which is the most miraculous thing that's ever happened here on earth, or in the universe, really. So we as Christians are commanded to do that. So the real question is, how do you do that in a smart way? Because you don't want to turn people off. You don't want to do things that Jesus Christ says that is dumb. You know, don't argue with fools. Don't throw pearls to swine and stuff like that. So that just means you just gotta feel it out. You just gotta kind of approach the subject, touchy here and there. If it looks safe, keep going, like you're walking on ice kind of thing. Not really in a bad way. Walking on ice has a bad connotation, but you're careful about it. You don't want to use any strong words that they might misunderstand. Like, I might have used the word sin, which might have been like rung some alarm bells to some people. And this is an open office too, so I'm sure other people were kind of listening or eavesdropping on our conversation as well, which is not a bad thing. Alright, so that's that. And I went out to lunch with my coworkers, different coworkers this time, just another group. So it's just the four of us. So we went to grab some sandwiches at a nearby sandwich shop. And as I paid and sat down at the table, they're already talking about some kind of commercial, Super Bowl commercial. I think it's the He Gets Us commercial, where Jesus washes people's feet. So they're talking about that. So the conversation is already steered in the direction of Jesus Christ. So for me, I'm like, this is great. Okay, so I sat down, just chill, and just kind of see where it went. And I'll just throw in the little Kindle into the fire and just try to keep the conversation going about Jesus and Christianity. And overall, it's a very respectful conversation. And they acknowledged, the very first thing was that we acknowledged that, okay, this is interesting that we can talk about this here in the workplace. And, you know, we're not just numbers on the screen. We're people with different beliefs, and we can talk about our beliefs respectfully, even if we might not agree with them. So we kind of level set there. It's like, hey, this at least this table 4, we can talk about whatever we want to talk about, and no one's gonna jump at each other's throats. So I thought that was great. And one of my coworkers who sat kind of close to me this morning, he mentioned, it's like, hey dude, I heard you talking to so and so about Christianity this morning. That was interesting, and yada yada. So about it. So I kind of talked about it, and I was like, yeah, I told them what I told you. Is yeah, this just kind of came up while we were talking about Easter and religion, and started talking about religion and what we believe, and I think we were able to do it pretty respectfully and stuff like that. So the whole issue of talking about deeper subjects at work kind of came up, and this is kind of what we were all dancing around, which is interesting. So I would love, if you're still watching this, I would love your opinion on this as well. What is your philosophy on how we should operate at work, at a workplace where people try to come in and be professional, not really be a robot, but kind of. It's like you kind of leave yourself at home and then just come in and do the work. But of course, you also build relationships with the people there. You kind of become friends with them. So how do you approach this, right? So I like to be strategic about it. I try to be prudent. I try to, it's always on my mind, you know, not like I'm like a preacher or anything like that. You know, I've still got a lot to learn, a lot to go. Please pray for me, pray for my salvation, pray for my, I hope to be baptized and officially follow Christ one day, and hope my whole family follows Christ. I hope everyone follows Christ, right? Jesus Christ is the truth. You gotta say it. That's the truth. So you gotta say the truth. But how do you say that so that people don't like look at you like some crazy person, right? So that's kind of my story today. It's just interesting that today just happened to be a religious discussion day. I know someone who is not religious will hear me talking like this. And like, what the heck are you talking about? Are you trying to convert people at work? What is wrong with you, dude? Like, everyone believe their own thing. Wait, I can't convert anyone. I can only spread the truth and try to obey Jesus Christ. Until Jesus Christ grabs a hold of your heart, Jesus Christ can convert you, not me. I can't do anything. I am the just a created. I am not the creator. I can't do anything about the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit gotta get you. All right. So that's my story. Would love to hear what you do. And hopefully I kept everything respectful, everything anonymous. If you know me and you're working at my agency and you see this video and you get offended by this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I guess I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, right? I'm sorry if I disrespect anyone's privacy, but I'm not gonna apologize for trying to spread the gospel. Come on now.